What is up, Pats Nation? It is Patriots Global here with another video, and the Patriots have signed free agent tight end Austin Seferian-Jenkins. This is a move that I feel a lot of Patriots fans are going to like. It's a name that has been regarded back to the Patriots in the past, and at this point, this far into free agency, Austin Seferian-Jenkins is the best option when it comes to a tight end that is on the actual free agency open market. Now, he got signed to a one-year deal, and believe it or not, he got signed for the veteran minimum, which, if you do not know, it's pretty self-explanatory, but it is what a veteran NFL player can make at the least. He received a $50,000 signing bonus with another $40,000 in bonuses available to him. Now, what does this say? What does this say about Austin Seferian-Jenkins? What does this say about his future with the Patriots? What does this say about the Patriots' legitimate interest in him? Well, for starters, Austin Seferian-Jenkins actually had a very nice amount of interest from the Seattle Seahawks. He, without a doubt, would have gotten more money with them, but he wanted to be a Patriot. He dropped the negotiations that he was having, with the Seattle Seahawks or whatever was happening with them. He stopped that once the Patriots were like, hey, we're interested. He took the minimum and signed with them. Of course, after Rob Gronkowski retiring, then the release of Dwayne Allen, the Patriots are very mighty thin at tight end. You had guys such as Matt LaCosse, Jacob Hollister, Steven Anderson, Ryan Izzo, pretty much as your tight ends. And when your starting tight end out of all those is Matt LaCosse, you start to get worried. Now, all of a sudden, this boosts the Patriots' offense by a lot. And it's not necessarily that Austin Seferian-Jenkins is this elite, high-graded player. It's more so at the fact that the Patriots' depth at tight end was just terrible. Well, I shouldn't necessarily say terrible, but it wasn't anything promising. It's nothing that is going to keep defensive coordinators up at night. If anything, it's going to keep Josh McDaniels up at night. He was selected in the second round back in the 2014 draft by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, so he was a fairly highly graded tight end when he was in college. And in his time with Tampa Bay, he was actually starting to get recognized as an athletic freak. He really displayed the ability to be, a potential big play threat early on in his career with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, as we all know, it's kind of fallen since his time with them, and we'll get to that in a second. But that just shows, him being chosen in the second round, then him going with the Bucs and being considered having that potential to be a big play threat, even early on in his career, says that he has the ability. Now, you might be wondering, what really caused that downfall? What made him go from being a big threat in the NFL to where he is now? And a big thing that happened to him was injuries. He dealt with way too many injuries early on in his career. When healthy, though, he proves to still have that ability to be able to get something going as a receiving target, generating 367 yards and 3 touchdowns on 50 receptions for the New York Jets back in 2017. Then you go to last year where he signed with the Jacksonville Jaguars, and once again, he got bumped off of his stride due to injuries. By the end of the season, he had just participated in 5 games for the Jags and generated 11 receptions for 90 yards and 1 touchdown. That 1 touchdown just so happened to be against the Patriots. I think one of the bearing questions a lot of Patriots fans have after this signing is, does this mean the Patriots are not going to be drafting a tight end? And no, that's not what that means. The Patriots are still going to draft a tight end. I still think they draft a tight end, still high. First or second round. I still personally feel it will be second unless somehow TJ Hockenson or Noah Fant is there, but we're not talking about the draft right now. But yeah, it will not affect them getting a tight end. He will still get a tight end, but this is depth. Either way, even if they got it, when they get a tight end, I should say, in the draft, they were still going to need more tight end help. And honestly, at this point, Austin Seferian-Jenkins is the best option unless they go via trade. Also, Austin Seferian-Jenkins did not take long to go to Instagram, post a picture of the old Patriot logo, and say, Thank you at Patriots. I'm ready to go to work. Hashtag year 6. I think one of my favorite things, besides him being an actual receiving threat, is his size. As we all know, Rob Gronkowski was a big man, 6'6", hard to stop. I mean, his size was a big reason that he was so hard to stop. And Austin Seferian-Jenkins brings really the same thing. He is 6'6", 258 pounds. Watching his highlights, I could not help but to feel a tad bit of Martellus Bennett in this guy's play. He isn't a guy that is going to turn on jets and be extremely fast, but in the end, that's not necessarily what the Patriots need. This guy can break the tackle, this guy can juke, this guy can stiff arm, but most importantly, what I like about this guy is he is just phenomenal when it comes to sideline catches. No matter what kind of catch it is, he makes sure to keep his feet in, and the guy looks like a magician when doing so. Having a 6'6", 258-pound tight end that can really work the sidelines, that just sounds like a Tom Brady favorite. To quickly go back to the money for a second, something else to really note about that is if the Patriots choose to cut him, it really will not affect them much. This type of deal really kind of just had flashbacks to the type of deal that Jordan Matthews got last offseason. So what I mean by that is if Austin Seferian-Jenkins comes into practice, training camp, offseason, and say he gets injured and is going to miss an extended period of time, chances are the Patriots are just going to release him. Now, if he does not, he's healthy, he's, there, he's doing what he's supposed to, and he's not sucking, he should easily be a 53-man roster lock. Now, not only is he a threat at the passing game, which the Patriots obviously need, helping the passing game, but most importantly, having a tight end that can contribute in the passing game, but he's also a good blocker. Now, what I'm saying by that is he is not Rob Gronkowski blocker, he is not Dwayne Allen blocker, but he's definitely a good blocker. He's definitely a better blocker than all of the tight ends on our depth chart right now combined. He's a very big, he's a very wide guy, so it's kind of in his nature, I guess, that he is a good blocker. But again, that is something that the Patriots were going to miss with guys like Dwayne Allen and Rob Gronkowski, because that really contributed to the lack of their ability to contribute in the passing game. They really made this running game. They helped guys like Sony Michel out very much, which helped the Patriots all season. He's a tight end that really plays that kind of type of old-fashioned play as a tight end. And that's something I just think that Bill Belichick and Tom Brady could really love, and something that they could really utilize. A lot of fans will look at this signing and right away look at his stats. Most importantly, they'll look at his stats from last season, say this is a bust, say he sucks, says he won't make the team, and go all in about these comments. But understand teams he was playing for, understand the types of systems he was playing for, the quarterbacks. I mean, he's coming into the Patriots system now. The Patriots. I don't even need to say anything else except for he's going to the Patriots system. But let's also add the fact that his quarterback is now Tom Brady. Looking forward, into the future with this type of signing, I would say don't totally 100% get your hopes up, because like I said, he could be a guy that does get cut depending on what happens, injury-wise and all that type of stuff. But he is easily the Patriots' best tight end on the depth chart right now, has a lot of potential, has a lot of great things he brings. So I would definitely say look forward to see what he can do. Definitely have this level of hype, but don't set your expectations too high just yet for Austin Seferian-Jenkins. But that is it for today's video. What are your guys' thoughts on this signing? Let me know in the comments below. Also, make sure you guys like and subscribe, as it helps me, the channel, and even you guys out very, very, very much. Make sure you guys share this video with everybody who knows you can go to the Patriots Global family. And other than that, I will catch you guys in another video.